Hi, welcome back into the Happy Place Garden, and I'm Melinda, and today I wanted to talk about boxwood. Boxwood are one of my favorite plants, and I have, I think, over 200 in my garden, and many more to come. So I've had a love affair with boxwood since we got our garden, probably about 12 years ago, and I've planted hedges because I like a more formal garden, but I also love boxwood topiary, which you can see here. So, but boxwood topiary is really expensive. I was fortunate enough to get this 3-ball topiary gifted to me from a friend who was struggling with it. It had some spider mite damage and was looking really brown and not very healthy. And I potted it up and gave it a lot of fertilizer, treated it for the spider mite. Been nursing it for probably about 3 years now. And but it's looking pretty good. It's got some great green new growth, and I'm going to show you today how I'm going to do a light pruning on this because we're at early spring. We're just at the beginning of April, and it's getting some of its new growth on there. And then this topiary here, this was actually one of my dwarf English boxwood that just wasn't looking very good, and it was going to go on the compost heap. And I decided, maybe I'll try to make it into a topiary. And I was inspired by Linda Vodder. She has a fabulous channel on YouTube. And I think it was last year when I was looking for more expert advice on how to prune all my hedges, I found her channel and was obsessed. And she made it so that, boxwood topiary aren't so scary. So if you haven't checked out Linda's channel, go do that, because she recently just sold her old house that I think she'd been in for 25 years. That was a storybook garden, and she's now starting the cottage garden. And so you get to see the project from the beginning, which is really exciting. I think she just got in a bunch of new plants and will be getting a bunch of boxwood in, so watch her adventure. So back to the topiaries and the boxwood. These two, and I have others as well, I actually started these from clippings. So this is the dwarf English variety that I have a bunch in my yard, and I just took some clippings early in the spring, dipped them in some root tone, and put them into some little starting soil, and put them in one of those little makeshift greenhouses. And I tried about 10 of them, and about 4 of them took off. So I've got little babies. They take a long time to grow, so patience is a virtue in this one, but it's a really fun hobby. So I think we will start by trimming these 3 up and show you what I do to get that early kind of spring trim and get them into better shape. So I'll bring you in for a closer look. So this topiary, it was inspired by Linda. She gave me the courage to go out and buy a Green Mountain variety, which I'd never grown before, but they have more of the straight trunk, so they make for great topiaries. I'm not sure what variety this one is, but it could be a Green Mountain. And so I found one that had a nice straight trunk, and it was just, round regular boxwood, but I found one with a straight trunk. And then I pruned off the branches in the middle here into this 2-ball shape. And then at the end of last summer, it put on some growth. And so I found a leader at the top that I have left to make another ball. So hopefully I'll get another 3-ball topiary. And so to prune it, I've done a little bit, I think, already this season, but the shape, it's kind of pancake here. So I'm gonna take this down and just do little cuts. And get it in that more rounded shape. A little bit more off the top here. And then take these little branches off, or excuse me, leaves off of this new leader. It's coming up. And try not to trim, if you want it to look really nice, the leaves in half, which is kind of unavoidable, but you can go back in and kind of peel those off. But the tips of them will turn brown, so they don't look as sightly. So just give him a little haircut. Not too much on this one because he's still pretty young. Or she. All right, I think that's it for that one. So I'm using, I didn't mention before, but I'm just using a pair of garden scissors. These are from Fisker, and of course they're cleaned prior to starting your project. And you just trim kind of the same as you would with shears. You want to keep it for the ball shape, kind of at a 45-degree angle. And I would say take little small cuts first, because you can always go back in and take more, but you can't put it back. And this guy, after I'm done pruning it, I will probably treat it again with some neem oil to discourage spider mite growth. And there is in here, I'm noticing a dead branch. Take it back. Oop, I got one that was still alive, darn it. But got the other dead part out. Hopefully that will encourage some new growth. And I was just buzzed by a hummingbird because our hummingbird feeder is right here on the window. He's hungry. Luckily we have another feeder on the other window. So it's really simple. You just do little cuts, get it back into shape, get the little haircut. I just found a snail in my boxwood topiary. Urgh. So these little guys, you just, same thing, hold it at about a 45-degree angle and just give it a nice little haircut. Doesn't take much because it still needs to fill in. But when you cut, it will usually cause some lateral branching, so it will fill in some more. So in this branch here, might need to be taken off unless we can get this to fill in a little bit more. So I'm going to trim that and hope for some more lateral branching. See what happens with that one. And this little guy, let's see here, he needs more of a stem. So I'm going to prune a lot of the leaves down here on the main branch. a little haircut off the top. Give him some more time. And then this one, don't mind the pot. It's looking for a replacement. This was an indoor pot that is, the glaze is cracking off here. All right, I think that's good for now. This is the mess I made, but we'll get all cleaned up, and I'll do a little top dressing with some fertilizer, heavy in the nitrogen, since these evergreens are heavy nitrogen feeders. But you can see how they're all pruned up. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope you found the video informational and helpful for you. And if you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more from me and my channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Happy gardening. Bye-bye.